I am Giulia Negri. I am originally from Italy, currently living in Luxembourg. In Luxembourg at LSB, Luxembourg School of Business, I am the MBA academic director. And before joining this team, I have been working and teaching at Bocconi University in Italy, in Milan, and I did my PhD at St. Gallen University in Switzerland. Here at LSB, what I do, I teach corporate finance, corporate valuation, and private equity and venture capital. And since September this year, I joined in this new role as academic director of the MBA. My role in the MBA would be to, I would say, originate the classes, in a sense that I have to interview candidates. I have to coordinate the activities of the classes and coordinate the faculties because we have many faculties coming from all over Europe and from the US. So that's pretty much it. Our Weekend MBA, as the name itself says, is a weekend program, so it allows our students to still keep their job while studying, while also enhancing their competence and their knowledge. So we have classes every second weekend, on Friday night and on Saturday the whole day. And as I say, we have faculties coming from other countries other than Luxembourg. We also have some local professors, but our network is based in other countries, let's say. Our student, if I have to identify the typical MBA student in our school, we have 50-50, let's say, men and women. So we are perfectly balanced from that point of view. Our students have 11, 12 years of work experience. So they are kind of advanced in their career path. And 1/3 of them has a business background, whether it is finance, economics, or management. And the others, they have background in engineering, most of them. We have human studies, but we also have some peculiar backgrounds, such as doctors, microbiologists, architects, and then you name it. So we also have some exceptions, let's say. It's a 24-month program, and our classes are pretty cozy because we have classes of 15, 20 people. So I would say that we create a very unified network within the same classroom, because the classes are relatively small compared to other programs that are around. Under the philosophy, learning outside the class is also important as learning inside the class. In each of our term, we have a leadership, I would say, course, and one of these leadership session is based with the Luxembourgish Army, for example. So that's why we value outside of the classroom activities. And among these outside of the classroom activity, we also have organized this year a sailing trip in the Netherlands. So what happened is that around 30 students, they got the possibility to sail, literally. So it was a day organized within the strategy course. So the strategy professor was in charge of debriefing the student before the sailing and after the sailing, because of course a strategy course is a very good fit for a sailing regatta. And so the professor, what he did, he explained the strategy that can be implemented while riding a boat, because of course when you sail a boat with no engine, you have to follow the wind. So you cannot really do where you want to. You have to follow the wind, and in doing this, in order to achieve your goal, so in order to get to the final destination, you have to drive, or anyway sail in a diagonal trajectory. And of course, we had 7 boats, and if you are the leading boat, okay, but if you are behind, you know that by definition, if you follow the trajectory of the leading boat, you will never win. So what should you do? Can you decide to go in the opposite direction, risking to meet an opposite wind, or do you follow the leader? What do you do? So these are the choices that our student had to make in order to win the race, in order to win the competition. So this is also what the professor illustrated over the course, something that is called competitive imitation. So sometimes the leaders, in order to win, in order to achieve their goal, they have to imitate the company or the boat that is winning in that moment in order to win eventually. So it was, of course, a very good exercise of leadership, because none of the students had a professional sailing experience. So none of them was an expert in what they were doing. So they have to be very fast. They have to learn very fast, because it all happened in one afternoon, in half of a day. And they also had to work in teams. And you could really see who has more of the guiding profile. So the person that is in charge of taking decision, and the person that, on the contrary, are very good at implementing the decision. So you can really see the profile of each individual. That is, of course, different, than what can happen in class, where we present cases, we make them discuss, but this was a very good implementation of what also a strategy course can teach within a school environment. We think that in today's business world, the baseline to achieve, to increase, to advance in your career, you have to know something about finance, you have to know something about marketing, you have to know something about operations. But then what really makes the difference is how you really embody the soft skills. So how you really embody leadership, how you really embody strategy. So those are the pillars, I would say, of an MBA. In an MBA, the strategy course is the most important one. And we also value a lot leadership, as I said before. So in each of our terms, we have 6 terms. We have one leadership course, from conflict management to self-awareness. So we really value these soft skills for our students, because those are what make eventually the difference in someone that advances in their career and someone that does not. On that day, the weather conditions were not favorable. So also you can also learn that despite maybe you are prepared psychologically to do a task, maybe there are some events that you cannot control, like in that case, the weather, and you cannot do anything about that. You have to race anyway, despite of the weather. So that was one thing. So not extraordinary, but exogenous factors can really impact your final performance despite your level of preparation. And also the fact that they really were able to identify one very concrete common goal for them. So each boat had the same goal. So each member that was on the boat, they had the very same goal, so to win the race in that case. So I guess those 2 were the final gatherings. I have to say that typically when we carry out these exercise, we really see the real nature of our participants. So maybe someone that maybe is not that participative in class, then eventually on the field shows that they are great leaders. So that is for sure one also very good, again, for our professors to understand better some of the soft skills that you cannot maybe capture with the traditional methodologies, let's say. It's a course. So You have to. There's no way out. It's a course. In all courses, we have professors that teach with cases, so we have very hands-on courses, but we also like to provide this unique experience. And I think that the Sailing Regatta is a perfect example, and also the weekend that they spend with the Luxembourgish Army is also another perfect example. Of course, all the boats, they were meeting all the safety requirements, and also the activities, all the other, I would say, non-traditional activities that we do, they are tailored for everyone, so everyone can carry them out. They are nothing extreme. I think that we can say, first of all, that you're not alone. So you are on a boat, but you're not alone, because carrying out an MBA is not an individual task, even if at the end the MBA carries out, has your own name, but it's not an individual task, it's a team task that is of the participant, of his network behind, whether it is family, friends, employees, or anyway colleagues. And then it's a team effort in a sense that you achieve your final MBA with your cohort, so with your fellow students. So first, it's a team task. And then, as I said, you may have your final mark where you want to go. So there's a floating mark that you want to achieve. But then, maybe there's the wind that pushes the mark a little bit away. So it gets more and more difficult to achieve that mark. But still, so maybe you have to, expand and lengthen a little bit the trajectory to reach it, but it's still there that looks at you. And sometimes it depends on you. Maybe sometimes you did something wrong in the boat, so you didn't really get closer to the mark because it was your fault. But sometimes there's wind, sometimes maybe it rains, so sometimes it's not even your fault. Sometimes there are things that happen in life that can make that mark even further from you. So I think that is also a very good metaphor for our students to navigate the journey towards the final diploma.